never really liked yard sales, but my sister, she loved them. She said it was like treasure hunting. One man's trash, another man's fortune. I usually stayed home on Saturdays, but that morning, she begged me to come along. She said she had a good feeling about this one. I should have said no. I should have stayed home. But instead, I went with her. The neighborhood was quiet. Too quiet. Most yard sales had people laughing, chatting, digging through boxes of old DVDs and mismatched mugs. But this one felt different. The house was old, the paint peeling from the siding, the grass overgrown and wet with dew, and the tables. The tables were lined with objects that didn't look like junk at all. Every item looked carefully chosen, placed with purpose, like they weren't just selling things, they were displaying them. My sister's eyes lit up the second she saw it. A doll. Not a cute, plastic kind. This one was porcelain. Pale, cracked skin. Blue glass eyes that seemed to follow you. A dress yellowed with age. "Look at her," my sister whispered. "She's perfect." I hated it instantly. Something about its face, its too wide smile, the way the light seemed to shift in its eyes. The old woman selling it shuffled forward. Her voice was raspy. "You like her?" she asked my sister. "She's beautiful," my sister replied. "How much?" The woman smiled. "No charge. She belongs with you." I felt a chill run through me. Free? Nothing was free. My sister didn't hesitate. She took the doll and cradled it in her arms, like it was already hers. I wanted to leave, but she insisted on looking at more things. So we stayed. That night, the doll sat on my sister's dresser, facing her bed. I told her it was creepy. I told her it looked wrong, but she just laughed. "You're just scared of everything," she said. "She's harmless." I didn't argue. But as the lights went out, I swore. I swore I heard the faint creak of porcelain shifting. I woke up at 2 a.m. There was a sound, a faint scratching, like tiny fingernails on wood. I sat up in bed holding my breath. The sound came from my sister's room. I thought about ignoring it, rolling over, forcing myself to sleep, but something pulled me from the bed. I walked slowly to her door. The scratching stopped. The room was silent. I opened the door and froze. The doll was no longer on the dresser. It was on the floor, facing the bed. My sister was asleep, but her blanket was pulled halfway off, her arm dangling over the edge. The doll was right beneath it, like it was waiting. I stepped inside, heart pounding. I grabbed the doll and shoved it back onto the dresser. My sister stirred, half asleep. "What are you doing?" she mumbled. "Nothing," I whispered. "Just go back to sleep." I didn't tell her what I saw. I didn't tell her I thought the doll had moved on its own. The next morning, the doll was back on the floor. My sister swore she didn't move it. She laughed it off, but I wasn't laughing. That night I locked my bedroom door. I still heard it, the faint creak, the faint scratching, and something else, a giggle. Soft, high-pitched, like a child's laughter, right outside my door. Days passed. The doll kept moving, from the dresser, to the floor, to the windowsill, always facing the bed. My sister grew pale, exhausted. She said she kept dreaming of a little girl, a girl who whispered in her ear at night, a girl who wanted to play. I begged her to get rid of it, but she refused. She said the doll was special. She said it chose her. That's when I realized it wasn't my sister holding on to the doll. It was the doll holding on to her. The night it all came to an end. I woke to the sound of screaming. I ran to her room. The door was locked. She was inside, shrieking. I threw myself against the door until it cracked open. And what I saw still haunts me. My sister was on the floor, Her arm twisted at an unnatural angle, blood smeared across the carpet. And the doll. The doll was sitting on her chest, its porcelain hand pressed against her throat, its glass eyes gleaming in the moonlight. I didn't think. I grabbed the thing and hurled it against the wall. It shattered into pieces, fragments scattering across the room. The screaming stopped. The air went still. My sister lay gasping for breath, tears streaming down her face. The doll was gone. But something lingered, a presence, a weight, like the house itself was watching us. We moved out a week later. My sister hasn't spoken about it since. She refuses to. Sometimes I catch her staring off, like she still hears the whispers, like she still sees the little girl in her dreams. And me? I don't go near yard sales anymore. I don't trust them. Because somewhere out there, another doll is waiting, smiling, watching, and choosing its next owner.
It was a small town. Nothing ever happened here. Or at least, that's what I thought. I spotted the yard sale on the corner of Maple and 7th. A blue tarp covered a long table, heavy with old items. My curiosity got the better of me. There was a music box, small, round, brass, polished but scratched with age. Intricate carvings of flowers and vines danced along its surface. It called to me. I don't know why. I shouldn't have picked it up. But I did. The old man selling it was hunched over. His eyes were hidden under a wide-brimmed hat. "You like it?" he asked. His voice was soft, almost a whisper. Yeah. How much?" I stammered. $10. I handed it over. It felt heavier than it looked. That night, I set it on my nightstand. I wound it up. The melody started slow, sweet, almost comforting. Then it changed. The tune slowed. The notes stretched unnaturally, like it was dragging the room down. I shrugged it off. Just a defective mechanism, I thought. But the next night, the melody played by itself. At first, I ignored it. I told myself I must be dreaming. But the music, it followed me. Through the apartment, through the house. It was never loud, just there, always behind me, always playing the same warped, twisted melody. And then I started hearing whispers, soft, almost like someone speaking from far away. Words I couldn't understand, just fragments. Come, play, join. I told myself it was my mind. Stress, fatigue, nothing real. But the music box, it moved. One morning I woke to find it on the floor. I swear I had placed it on my nightstand before sleeping. The lid was open, the brass ballerina inside spinning slowly. Her tiny eyes, they seemed alive, watching me. I panicked, picked it up, thrown it in the closet. That night, the music played louder. I froze. The sound came from the closet, closer now. My heart pounded. I slowly opened the door. The music box was gone, and in its place, a small, pale handprint on the floor. I screamed, called the police. They found nothing, no break-ins, no footprints, just the eerie feeling of someone watching me. And the melody. It never stopped. Days turned into nights. Nights bled into sleepless weeks. The music box appeared in random places, on the kitchen counter, in the bathroom, even on my pillow. Every time the ballerina spun, her eyes following me. Her smile, too wide, and the whispers, louder now, more urgent, almost pleading. Play, forever, join. I tried burning it. I thought fire would end it. It didn't. I woke up covered in soot. The box, sitting at the foot of my bed. The ballerina's arms raised, as if welcoming me. I sold the house, moved to another state. I threw out everything I owned, every memory tied to it. every object. But the music, it followed. Sometimes, late at night, I hear it faintly. A single, warped note drifting through the air. And I know it's still out there, waiting for the next hand to hold it, the next soul to play forever. The yard sale. I should have left it alone. But curiosity always wins. And sometimes, that's how the horror finds you.
It was a quiet Saturday. The sun was bright. Perfect yard sale weather. I was wandering alone, looking for old books, maybe a lamp. Then I saw it. A wooden chest. Dark polished wood. Iron bands wrapping around it. A small rusty padlock holding it shut. No one was around, except an old woman sitting on a folding chair. She watched me with cold eyes. "Do you want it?" she asked. I nodded slowly. "Yes. How much?" $5, she said. "Take it, if you dare." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. It was forced. I hesitated, but $5. I handed it over. The chest was heavy in my hands, too heavy for its size. At home, I placed it in my living room. Curiosity gnawed at me. I tried to open it. The padlock wouldn't budge. I searched online, bought lock-picking tools. Nothing worked. That night, I heard noises, soft scratching, faint thuds, from the chest. I froze. The air felt colder, thicker. I told myself, it's just settling, just wood expanding. But the thuds, they came again. This time, a muffled scream. I couldn't sleep. I left the chest in the living room, lights on, door locked. Then the banging started, louder, angrier. It sounded like someone trapped inside, trying to get out. I ran to the closet, locked the door, hid behind it. Morning came. The chest was in my bedroom. I hadn't moved it. The padlock was gone, the lid slightly ajar. Inside, darkness, like the void. I couldn't see the bottom, couldn't see what was moving. A cold breeze escaped it, whispering my name. I tried throwing it out. Truck, dumpster. Nothing worked. Every morning, it returned. Always inside the house, always open. At night it moved, crept across the floor, always facing me. Sometimes, I thought I saw hands, pale, thin, scratching from inside. Sometimes, voices, crying, begging. One night, I lost track of time. I woke up to silence. The chest was in the living room, but this time, it was open wider than ever. And inside, a face, pale, wet, eyes wide with terror, mouth screaming silently. It blinked. I ran. I didn't stop. I left town, sold the house, tried to forget. But the nightmares, they followed. I dream of that chest, always open, always calling me. Sometimes, in the dark, I hear it, scratching, thudding, a muffled scream. The old woman's words echo in my mind. "Take it, if you dare. I will never, ever go near a yard sale again." Because sometimes, the objects you think are worthless are waiting to own you.